old Mini Clubman was a bit of an oddball. It played the field for quirkiness, and some might argue that that never paid off. But this all-new Mini Clubman certainly does a more convincing job of being a C-segment hatchback. Though I suppose hatchback is maybe not the right word, considering those two rear barn doors. We are on the launch of the Clubmen in Spain. I know we're driving a right-hand drive car, that confused us too. But nevertheless, we've got the brand new car here, and obviously, me being me, I decided to go for the Mini Cooper S variant, which on these fantastically twisty roads, I'm quite glad I chose to drive the diesel earlier in the day, because these roads really bring the best of this car out. So, under the bonnet, we have got a 2 litre, 192 horsepower turbocharged engine. That's good for getting the car from 0 to 62 miles an hour in just 7.1 seconds and onto a top speed of 142 miles an hour. Power delivery is nice and linear, with most of it being at the top of the rev range. This car is teamed with a very quick responding, actually, auto gearbox, which is also controllable via these paddles here. The car, interestingly, also comes as standard with launch control, which means you can get away all that much more quickly. But of course, those are just facts and figures. Out here on the road, the Mini demonstrates its sure-footed, high levels of grip and really nicely weighted steering. It's very precise. You can feel you can put it where you want it, particularly when you go down here into sport mode. All of the interior dials and things go red. It says for maximum go-karty feel. Whilst that's a bit of a gimmick, the car does feel noticeably more nimble. You get better pedal response, greater weighting to the steering, and faster responses from the gearbox. And overall, it's just damn good fun to chuck around, really. The Mini Clubman appears to be much bigger than it actually is. This car is just 2 millimeters shorter than a Volkswagen Golf, actually, but because of the high belt line and the way the glass sits, you wouldn't think it. Park them side by side though, and it's a real eye-opener. Overall, the Mini Clubman has done a lot of growing up. Gone is this strange one-sided suicide door configuration. In its place are 2 conventional doors that allow people to enter into what is a rather spacious interior. There's plenty of leg room in the back, though the middle seat's slightly compromised by a high transmission tunnel. There's actually plenty of space for the 2 outermost passengers to stretch out a bit. The interior as a whole is beautifully designed. It's got loads of really intricate details to it. I mean, this specification of car, it's got all of the mood lighting inside, which is a nice touch. And we also have Mini's latest infotainment system that sits around this sort of coloured aura that changes colour depending on what mode the car is in. And of course, the usual Mini toggle switches are also a nice little touch. Said satellite navigation slash infotainment system, we've had a bit of bother with it. I don't know whether it's just because we're in Spain, but the navigation system seems to be a little bit lackluster to give you the information early enough. So it'll tell you to turn left, and you're like, oh, that left that we've just gone past. Yeah, okay, that was useful. Again, don't know whether it's because we're in Spain. We'll have to try it out when we get back to the UK, but we did find it a bit of an issue here. But of course, it's sort of BMW iDrive inspired, so navigation of the system is really easy, nice and ergonomic with this touchpad and series of shortcut buttons down here. Other things that make your life easier in this car is the heads-up display that's been optioned in this car. I thoroughly recommend this. Keep your eye on your speed and your navigation directions whilst keeping your eyes glued to the road, and especially in a car as focused as this, you're going to be driving it a bit quick. You don't want to keep looking down at your speedo. These seats are really nicely upholstered and very well bolstered as well, because the high levels of grip means that generally everything goes flying in the car as you go around a corner at a bit of speed, but not you, because you're held in place nice and snugly. Boot space is at 360 litres, which is actually a little bit larger than that of a Ford Focus. However, rear visibility is compromised by those barn doors at the rear. The car holds itself very well. There's not very much body roll at all, which is great. That's what we want. And also the brakes are a real confirmation that Mini have engineered this car very well. I've said in several videos, quick little cars, you can only drive them as quick as what they stop. And these brakes give you plenty of confidence, meaning that you can push on and use all of that power whenever the road enables you to. Externally, in Cooper S trim at least, I think the car looks really great, especially with these darkened alloy wheels and the little flick of the rear spoiler. It comes across just like the rest of the latest Mini range as a real nice premium package, and certainly something a bit different from the normal. Now the ride in this car is maybe a little bit firmer than competitors, but that's the trade-off for having a good suspension package when the road starts getting twisty. This specific Clubman is fitted with a large glass panoramic sunroof, which is actually one of the largest pieces of moving glass in any BMW or Mini product. Whilst this car does have plenty of grip, if you pile on into a corner just like any front-wheel drive car, you do eventually meet some understeer, but that's after a good deal of tyre squealing, and the weighting of the steering loads up quite nicely, letting you know that that is what's happening. Mini claimed that this Cooper S Clubman will do 48.7 mpg, which isn't too bad considering its calibre. An entry-level Mini Clubman Cooper S, as mentioned, it has launch control as standard, which is quite a significant piece of equipment to have. You can have this car from £22,755. And pound for pound, in comparison to other premium products in this segment, that isn't too bad considering the equipment that you get, and certainly the excellent chassis that sits beneath you.